US bombs Iran's nuclear sites. Is this the start of World War III? So, in the late hours of the night, US bombers soared across the skies, targeting Iran's most heavily guarded nuclear sites Fordow, Natanz, Esfahan, and boom, all three nuclear sites have been destroyed. The world held its breath. Is this just a warning, or are we witnessing the start of a global war, or even World War III? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is not just another headline. It's a turning point in global security. The United States has bombed Iran's nuclear facilities. Yes, let that sink in. So this isn't a movie, this isn't a drill. And no, this isn't something you can afford to miss. So what exactly happened and why now? Is Iran really building a nuclear bomb? How Israel has responded and what will be its next action? And what about India, oil prices and the global economy? This video breaks down everything in a very structured manner, simple language, and deep analysis. So don't skip any part. Stay till the very end. Every second is crucial. So let's first discuss the massive airstrikes hitting key Iranian nuclear facilities. The US has officially confirmed it carried out massive airstrikes on Iran's most sensitive nuclear sites, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. These aren't just any military bases. These are the backbone of Iran's nuclear enrichment program, the very centers feared to be steps away from developing a nuclear bomb. It was a surgical strike, deadly, focused with a lot of precision, and carried out at night. The message was loud and clear that the US will not let Iran to make a bomb and become a nuclear power. And what about the timing? Well, that's just months before the US elections and days after Iran launched its drone strikes at Israel. Israel thanks US for the support. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has issued a statement and praised the US President Donald Trump and said, "This was a critical step for global security." Multiple reports also suggest that Israel has shared intelligence and helped US plan the operation. Focus on deep underground enrichment sites. The focus of these strikes was not just any random targets, it was deep underground uranium enrichment sites, especially Fordow, built beneath a mountain, designed to withstand earthquakes and even deep impact bombs. But America has reportedly dropped in bunker busting bombs, and they have hit the bullseye. These sites are believed to be working on high level uranium, close to weapons grade. Targeting them shows this was not a warning, it was a direct move to paralyze and actually jeopardize Iran's nuclear ambitions. Fordow reportedly completely obliterated. According to CNN and several military analysts, Fordow was completely destroyed. One Israeli official claimed it's gone, completely obliterated. Well, that's shocking because Fordow was one of the most protected nuclear facilities in the world. Fordow's destruction means Iran has lost years of nuclear development. Now, this is the biggest blow to their nuclear program since the Stuxnet cyber attack that happened over a decade ago. B-2 bombers were deployed by the US from Guam for the mission. The US used B-2 Spirit stealth bombers for this mission. These are the most advanced planes in the world, undetectable on radar, capable of flying from Guam to Iran and then back without refueling. Deploying them wouldn't have been easy. It required weeks of planning and airspace coordination with its allies like Qatar, the UAE, and possibly even Saudi Arabia. This shows how deep and deliberate this operation was. Cyber attacks had preceded the physical bombings. So before the first bomb dropped, the US cyber forces went to work. They blinded Iran's radars, disabling communication lines and jammed missile launch systems. This made sure no Iranian anti-aircraft weapon could respond in time. Cyber war is now a key part of modern warfare. The physical strike succeeded because the digital battlefield was already won. Iran's immediate response, air defense and threats. So after the explosions, Iran activated its air defense systems, but then it was too late. Most missiles fired by Iranian systems couldn't even find a target. Tehran immediately issued a strong warning, calling it an act of war and promised retaliation at a time of their choosing. Well, their anger is justified. The three of their most important nuclear sites were destroyed overnight. Yemen's Houthis and Hezbollah signal escalation. Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthi rebels in the Yemen, both backed by Iran, released statements that they are ready to join in the conflict. This means US military forces, oil tankers in the Gulf, and even India's supply chains are at risk. So we need to wait and watch how Iran and its support groups, that is the Houthis and the Hezbollahs, will react to this event. Trump declares spectacular military success. So US President Donald Trump held a press briefing calling the strike a spectacular success. He claimed the mission to have crippled Iran's nuclear dream and demanded Tehran's surrender. This aggressive tone is very Trump like, and it sparked both praise as well as fear. Praise from the hardliners and fear from the moderates. Next, let's discuss the legal and political firestorm in Washington. The strikes weren't approved by the Congress. Many Democrats and some Republicans are now questioning whether this move was legal under the US and international law. According to the US Constitution, the president needs congressional approval for declaring war. So, was this an illegal war? Well, that debate is still on. Congress is split over authorization of use of force, so the lawmakers are deeply divided. Some say this was a necessary preemptive strike, while others say it was a reckless gamble. A few are calling for a new war powers resolution to change and authorize new executive military powers. Well, this division could affect not just the US foreign policy, but the upcoming election narratives as well for the United States. Intelligence community warned that Iran wasn't actually building a bomb yet. Interestingly, just weeks before the strikes, some US intelligence agencies said that Iran was enriching its uranium but hadn't decided to build a bomb. Now, this adds controversy. Was the attack based on solid intelligence or just being escalated to ensure their political motives? Oil prices surged over 10% globally, so the markets are expected to react immediately. Crude oil could grow from $82 to over $91 within 48 hours. India, which imports over 85% of its oil, is now worried about inflation and a fuel price hike. Even the stock markets in Asia and Europe could turn red. War equals uncertainty, and markets hate that. Mass evacuations begin in Tehran. Iran's capital is in total panic mode. Many foreign embassies have evacuated staff. Civilians are fleeing major cities, fearing more airstrikes. Flights are full, roads are blocked. Well, it's a complete chaos in Tehran. Nuclear deal democracy is now dead. The 2015 JCPOA nuclear deal, already on life support, is now officially dead. Iran has exited all talks and declared that it will no longer allow any inspection of any of its facilities. Well, this makes the world more dangerous because there's no way to monitor Iran anymore. UN, China and Russia call for restraint. The UN, China, Russia and the European Union have all called for immediate de-escalation. But the US has made it clear it won't tolerate Iranian nuclear ambitions and won't let Iran become a nuclear power. The global power divide is once again exposed. It's yet again West versus the East who are confronting against each other. The US military bases on high alert worldwide. From Qatar to Bahrain to Diego Garcia, the US military bases are now on maximum alert. Missiles, drones, even suicide bombers, well, everything is possible now. India has also upgraded security at its embassies in Tehran and Baghdad. Now let's come to global media. Is it a beginning of a new Middle East war? Well, newspapers worldwide are calling this the beginning of the Middle East war too. Think Syria, think Iraq. Now add Iran and Israel as well. It's a geopolitical nightmare, so to speak. So what are the implications for the US elections and global order? The strikes will definitely dominate the upcoming US presidential elections. So was it a heroic move or a reckless war gamble being done by Donald Trump? Either way, the world order is shifting, and the consequences will be long-lasting for America, for the Middle East, and for all of us in fact. So what do you think? Was this bombing on Iran's nuclear sites justified? Or are we heading straight into a nuclear confrontation? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And share this video with your friends who follow geopolitics. Like this video if you found my structural analysis useful. And don't forget to subscribe for more such UPSC level analysis in plain and simple English. Until then, stay safe, stay aware and stay curious. See you in the next one. Jai Hind.